Hello and thank you for joining us. It's time for This Week in the News, a time we recap major stories that we run in the week ending. I am Sibongile Ziambo. Headlines at this hour. Unknown youthful bouncers disrupt media briefing by TPP top brass in Lilongwe, officials beaten. Police dispense teachers who took to the streets to push for personal protective equipment and risk allowance before schools reopen on Monday. Malawi Parliamentary Conservation Caucus demands action on state agencies allegedly involved in Chaco syndicate. In sports, Flames maintain position 123 in latest FIFA rankings. Now the news in detail. A lack of inter-party democracy in the former governing Democratic Progressive Party DPP came to the fore Friday afternoon when a planned media briefing in Lilongwe ended abruptly after some people wearing party colors violently chased its leaders. The briefing was addressed by spokespersons Brown Pingajira, Party Administrative Secretary Francis Mpepo, and National Organizing Secretary Chimomo Chipungu. They wanted to react on the current COVID-19 management by government and give an update on party issues. Made Topidi was there.
Have now been given the opportunity to go back and engineer
It all started well and then ended almost in tears for the leadership of the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, because when the press briefing started, barely 3 minutes into it, a group of young men, heavy-built young men, some of them in DPP colors, stormed the room at the Crown Hotel where the briefing was taking place and ordered everybody to come out, and then started chasing, even beating some of the officials, the 4 officials that were addressing the meeting. After a chaotic 5 to 7 minutes, calm was restored with the DPP officials gone, and then these people that were clad in DPP cars also gone in a minibus. They came by a minibus and then left. I must say that later on, the briefing was conducted at a different venue where the leadership, Brown Pinganjila, the spokesperson, fought and accused the 4 expelled members of the party that they were behind the violence that took place earlier in the day. And these 4 expelled are the vice president for the party in the south, that's Nankuma, the party's secretary general, Griselda Jeffrey, the party's treasurer general, Jeb Muhango, and Mulanje West legislator, Yusuf Ntenda. He gave details that the Central Executive Committee of the party summoned the 4 to a meeting today, which was supposed to follow the press briefing so that they discuss further on suggestions that they should withdraw or their injunction, which they took to restrain the party from expelling them. So he says it's either the direction of the 4 or that their supporters, their sympathizers did not understand what the media briefing was all about, that they thought they would be talking more about the expulsion of these 4. That's why they came and disturbed the meeting. So that's what the party is saying. We haven't talked yet to any of the 4 to get their side of the story, but that's what happened.
The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 Wednesday evening announced that all schools will reopen on Monday next week. The task force members indicated that the decision was arrived at after monitoring the positivity rate, which is now at 16.2%. This is part of what Education Minister Agnes Nyalonje said. Following the announcement by the COVID-19 task force that schools will reopen next Monday, Teachers Union of Malawi TUM President William Malimba said TUM and their members will start boycotting work from Monday next week when the schools reopen after a COVID-19 5-week break. And on Friday, police in Lilongwe dispersed some teachers who took to the streets in the city to push government make available personal protective equipment and risk allowances before schools reopen Monday. Anna Femlamba was there and she gave us this report.
There is a heavy police presence here at the Lilongwe Community Ground. The Lilongwe Community Ground, as well as the Banjalam Sogolo Simama Road. These police officers are chasing these concerned teachers who were about to hold demonstrations. The armed police officers are demanding the protesters to leave, claiming they do not have permits to hold demonstrations. As it is, the police have dispersed the concerned teachers who gathered at the community center ground. Right now, they are not allowed to proceed anywhere else as they were supposed to proceed to the office of the DC. I'm joined by Mr. Newton Dini.
That's very true. We are here to hold the demonstration concerning the problems of teachers as far as the COVID risk allowance is concerned, that the government up to now.
According to a statement from the Office of the Vice President, consultations with stakeholders were made before arriving to the decision to delink the University of Malawi into 3 institutions of higher learning. The idea to delink the University of Malawi was hatched some 4 years ago, but the Council overturned it last month. In new twist of events, government has directed the Minister of Education to gazette commencement of the process and further implementation of the action plan. Education expert Limbani Sabaro has told us that the decision will create room for creativity and will enhance governance systems of the universities.
It will try to promote quality of education, which is very critical, because then the linked universities will try to ensure quality so that there is increased competition. And then governance and management will be improved.
The discussion by the government is against the University Council, which in January was against the delinking of the institution. Members of the council were not available to comment on the development. The delinking process will see the College of Medicine merging with the Kamuzu College of Nursing to form Kamuzu University of Health Sciences. Polytechnic is now the University of Business and Applied Sciences, and Chancellor College is the University of Malawi. The 3 universities will now be named University of Business and Applied Sciences, Kamuzu Institute of Health Sciences, and the University of Malawi.
Former Attorney General Raf Kasambara supported the decision by the Public Appointments Committee of Parliament, PAC. The 2 DPP-nominated commissioners at the Malawi Electoral Commission do not form part of the current body, as they were found lacking by the courts. Writing on his Facebook page, Kasambara adds that there is no legal basis to fire the 2 Linda Kunje and Jean Matanga on grounds of incompetence as found by the country's courts for presiding over the nullified 2019 presidential election. Alex Banda has the details.
Rafo Kasambala, a former Attorney General and Senior Counsel in the Joyce Banda administration, feels the decision by PAC of Parliament and the current AG, Dr. Jugosa Sirungwe, is smeared in politics. They are against the presence of Commissioners Jean Matanga and Linda Kunje at the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC when they were found incompetent by PAC of Parliament and the country's courts for mismanaging the 2019 presidential elections under Chairperson Justice Dr. Jane Ansah. The 2, Kunje and Matanga, were sponsored to the Commission for the second time by erstwhile Democratic Progressive Party President Peter Mutharika. Kasambara, writing on his Facebook page, argues that the idea to fire the 2 has no legal basis, given that President Chakwera, who initially challenged their inclusion, withdrew the case in court. Kasambala further goes to suggest that it would be a legal tall order to argue their incompetence after managing 2 successful other elections, including the fresh presidential election. The former AG has suggested the best move is to dissolve the whole commission if the 2 advisory bodies feel MEC has incompetent fellows. President Lazarus Chakwera is yet to give the DPP-sponsored MEC commissioners their letters of appointment. Presidential Press Secretary Brian Banda on Wednesday pushed our query on the matter to the Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Zangazanga Jikosi, who was not available for comment as we came on air. For Zodiac, this is Alex Banda.
You're watching This Week in the News on Zodiac. We'll be right back shortly. Stand by.
precious things have a secret formula. While John is busy trying to impress, James discovered Tangu's secret. Tangu uses Purity sanitary products from Purity body wash, Purity hands wash, Purity body lotion to Purity dishwash. After a week of using Purity sanitary products, James won the heart of Tangu. Use Purity sanitary products.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Bliss Body Lotion is well refined to give your skin full hydration, leaving you feeling fresh throughout the day. Bliss Body Lotion is a top-range body lotion which contains natural extracts and is found in 3 flavors at a very reasonable price. Bliss Lotion Aloe Vera, Bliss Lotion Instant Hydration, Bliss Lotion for men. Get yourself Bliss Body Lotion today in all leading stores across the country.
Mchitidwe wozembetsa ngaka ukunka ukukulirakulira ku Malawi. Nyamayi ikubedwa ndi magulu a mbava zochokera m'mayiko osiyanasiyana kamba ka nyama yake ndi mamba ake. Ngaka ndi nyama yapamtunda yomwe imasakidwa ndi kuzembetsedwa kwambiri pa dziko lonse lapansi, ndipo pali chiopsezo chakuti nyamazi zitha. Komatu boma likuyesetsa kulimbana ndi mchitidwewu. Kuchokera chaka cha 2017, anthu oposa 100 amangidwa pa milandu yokhudzana ndi ngaka, ndipo ambiri akalowa kale ku ndende. Oweruza milandu apereka zaka zambirimbiri kwa anthu okhudzidwa ndi milanduyi, ndipo ena angathe kulamulidwa mpaka zaka 30 ku ndende. Tiyeni tisamale tsogolo la ngaka zathu. Tithane ndi mchitidwe wakuba ndi katangale. Tiyeni tineneze milandu yonse yokhudzana ndi nyama zakuthengo. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri kapena kuneneza za mchitidwe wina uliwonse wokayikitsa, imbani ku manambala awa.
Welcome back. Before we continue the news, let's take another look at the top stories. Unknown youthful bouncers disrupt media briefing by DPP top brass in Lilongwe, officials beaten. Police disperse teachers who took to the streets to push for personal protective equipment and risk allowance before schools reopen on Monday. Malawi Parliamentary Conservation Caucus demands action on state agencies allegedly involved in Charcoal Syndicate. And in sports, Flames maintain position 123 in latest FIFA rankings. The Malawi Parliamentary Conservation Caucus MPCC has called for immediate action against state agencies suspected to be in a syndicate of corruption in charcoal business in the country. At a press briefing on Thursday, MPCC co-chairperson Wiran Chirenga said all state agencies that were mentioned in the recent Nation Publications newspaper report, which exposed rampant corruption in charcoal transportation, should be investigated and culprits to be punished. Meanwhile, Director of Forests in the Ministry of Natural Resources, Dr. Chilima, said the department has already engaged the Anti-Corruption Bureau to investigate and brought to book all corrupt officers in the department. Grace Kombe with more.
The Malawi Parliamentary Conservation Caucus co-chairperson Wilani Chirenga says the recent Nation Publications Limited newspaper expose uncovered the extent of corruption in the charcoal industry, which is being orchestrated by some state machinery. Mr. Chirenga said the state agencies, which include the Malawi Police Services, the Malawi Revenue Authority, The Directorate of Road Traffic Services and the Forestry Department should be thoroughly investigated, and all culprits should face the long arm of the law. The MP's
account to former ruling Democratic Progressive Party DPP in 2019. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP, Dr. Steve Kayuni, says the state will parade 7 witnesses when trial commences next month. Andrew Viano filed this report.
The suspended Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority Chief Executive Officer Dr. Collins Magalasi appeared before Senior Resident Magistrate Sherin Chira for plea taking. Dr. Magalasi is being accused of funding accommodation fees for the former ruling Democratic Progressive Party convention back in 2018 to the tune of 10 million kwacha. He has since been charged with 2 counts, abuse of office and fraud, which he has denied. Director of Public Prosecutions Dr. Stephen Kayuni has since told the court that the state will parade 7 witnesses when the court reconvene on March 19th. In another case in which Dr. Magalasi and 3 others are being accused of conniving to influence procurement of some materials worth 107 million kwacha has been adjourned to February 22.
There are 4 counts. There is one on fraudulent false accounting, and there is one on misprocurement, and there are 2 on money laundering. The regretters that were raised in court to the effect that in some cases, some of the accused persons, as alleged by the defense, some of the particulars do not affect them. And in some ways, there was pleading that the particulars needed clarification, considering that some of the terms that were used were technical.
Dr. Collins Magalase, Bright Mbewe, Patrick Maulidi and Dorothy Shonga were arrested on allegations that they played a role in influencing procurement of some items at Mera in a process which was faulted.
State lawyers have submitted call logs to prove that Norman Chisale had been interfering with witnesses in an attempted murder case which he is answering. This is in support of an application the state made on Tuesday for revocation of bail on allegations that the bodyguard to former President Peter Mutharika was interfering with witnesses. Haben Jaramano was at the court in the week and filed this report.
Hearing of an application to have bail for Norman Chisale revoked in an attempted murder case proceeded with an early adjournment due to late arrival of state lawyer and witness. Defense through counsel Chancellor Gondwe told the court that they received bucket documents from state on Thursday, which state wanted to use as part of evidence on Friday. Gondwe alleged that the late submission was employed by state to compel defense to seek an adjournment to look into the documents, an argument that state denied. The defense then asked the court not to allow state to use the documents as part of its evidence on grounds that the documents were served to them late. Judge Sylvester Kalembera then ruled in favor of defense, saying conduct by state was tantamount to trial by ambush. This is what counsel Gondwe told media outside the court.
We do not have time to go through those documents. They call those documents call logs, so we objected to those documents because of late service. We were not told by the state that they would be serving us with those other documents. Surprisingly, they served us yesterday through email. They never even called us to inform us that they have served us with those documents. So we objected to the use of those documents, and the court actually, in the ruling of the court, they actually agreed with our position that those documents could not be entertained.
From the state, Counsel Piran Masanjara says they have not found fault in that.
The witness which we brought today testified to the best of his abilities and also to the best of the documents which we had already served. So he spoke to those documents. We would, of course, have been happier that the documents which we served on the party, on the defense yesterday, were also part of the evidence today and formed part of the evidence today. But it's an application that the defense made and the court agreed with them, and we, as the state, we cannot find fault in that, which we have already given the defense and the court the call logs.
Judge Sylvester Kalembera says will on March 15, 2021, make a ruling on an application for bail revocation of Chisale, who is being accused of interfering with witnesses.
Meanwhile, the High Court has said March 15 for delivery of its ruling on a state application to withdraw bail for Norman Chisale in the matter. Leadership of some Pentecostal churches in Malawi have embarked on fundraising campaign aimed at reducing problems hospitals accommodating COVID-19 patients are facing. The move is being propelled by Prophet Shepherd Bushiri of Enlightenment Christian Gathering, Bishop Gifford Matonga of Evangelical Assemblies of Malawi, and Bishop Malani Mtonga, founder of World of Life Tabernacle. They have since disclosed plans to stock hospitals with medical equipment crucial in COVID-19 isolation rooms. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri said war against COVID-19 cannot be fought by government alone, hence the men of God coming in to help.
Let us unite as a country. There is a pandemic here that all Malawians should look at it as something that we as the church can unite and fight against collectively. There are so many people who have lost hope, so many people who are living in fear, and the source of information has become very relevant, of which unfortunately has been internet and has been a lot of speculations. We want the people of Malawi to understand from the Bible, from the faith. Our country is a believing country. Even our anthem, we speak of God bless Malawi, God protect, give it to be a land of peace. It's a prayer. All that is a prayer. So we are saying, and what I want to be proud of is tomorrow to say I stood with my fellow countrymen and women in standing as a religious leader together, praying and standing in combating COVID-19. So that could be one of the most important things that I would want really to see happening, to see us coming together as different men of God and standing in unity and preaching hope and faith to the country of Malawi. Our message here, it is that believe, whether you have COVID or not, we believe that God is going to heal you and God is going to protect your family. And this is not the end of the world. God is in total control. Just to correct you, I've not performed any miracle since I was born. I believe that Jesus is a miracle performer. And whether I pray, whether the miracle happens, it's not me performing it. I believe it is Jesus performing. And from my records I've gone through that I have, Jesus has never failed. He is the healer, and he will still heal.
Heal Malawi of this sickness called COVID-19 yes. By your mighty power. We acknowledge, Jehovah, that you are the Lord that healeth us.
Yes.
You are the Lord that healeth us.
We now go to sports news. The Malawi national football team has maintained position 123 on the latest rankings released by the World's Football Motherboard FIFA on Thursday. The Flames regrouped on Wednesday ahead of their two last crucial 2022 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, away to South Sudan as well as at home to Uganda towards the end of March respectively. Meanwhile, head coach Mick Marcy says ironies and failure to produce good results in their recent assignments have contributed to the Flames' an improved showing in the standings for almost a year now. Sambanda reports.
The last time the Flames chalked a win was their 2022 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign opener, which they beat South Sudan 1-0 in Blantyre, but went on to suffer it.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Kodi dekoda yanu ya Go TV nthawi zina imatawa machannel kapena sabwera konse. Musadere nkhawa, tsatani ndondomeko izi kuti mupange forced software upgrade. Choyamba, zimitsa